Okay. Hello, 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 everyone. How are you? Happy Saturday. How are you guys doing? Let me know over here if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Okay, I'm waiting. How are you? Welcome. How is your Saturday going? Okay, all right. All right, guys. Welcome, welcome to our Saturday Life over here in Peach Gorilla. So I want to dive with you into our topic today. Um, we're going to talk about how to wire your mind and change your life abundance. This is the topic today. Most people think abundance starts when the money arrives on the bank, right? But abundance actually starts the moment you stop abandoning yourself emotionally. That's a new perspective, right? Because the life you want can only meet the version of you that already feels whole to receive it. So I am Sinandra, your guide for mindset transformation and emotional rewiring. If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome all of you guys. Hello, hello. Put in the chat over here where you're joining me from. Welcome here to our Saturday Live. And what I do is like I help people break free from survival mode, subconscious patterns, and limiting beliefs so they can stop living on the autopilot and start creating a life aligned with who they truly are. This is my job. This is what I'm passionate about. And today we are going to reset the way you think about abundance. Today we are going to we're going to look at abundance in a different way because abundance is not something you and I chase. It is a frequency we must become if that it is where we're going for in our journey, right? Abundance is about being, not having. When I hear the word abundance, okay, most people instantly think about money in the bank, right? A Ferrari, red Ferrari, a beautiful mansion, bills paid, freedom. And honestly, I love money too, like everybody else. But there is nothing wrong. I want you to think that there is nothing wrong in desiring material abundance. But this perspective that I'm bringing you today is what shifts about how you access it. Because material abundance does not live in the frequency of having, I have to have money to pay my mortgage every month. You have to have money to pay your rent, your car, everything. Abundance lives in the frequency of being. And that's the perspective. Because if your internal state is lack, even when blessings arrive, you still feel empty. Think about how many lotteries, Powerball winners we have that within 3 years they lost everything. Sometimes that is the gap, right? For most people, not all of us. Some of us are already in an elevated consciousness. But even when the blessings arrive, most of the people that are not in the level of consciousness of abundance, right? They are not becoming. They feel empty. They feel anxious. Uh, you may still feel like it's not enough. Oh my gosh, I just got this promotion, but how do I sustain? Right? That's why some people achieve success and still feel disconnected from themselves. The real question is today, do you feel abundant right now? Do you feel abundant right now? Not when money comes, not when the relationship arrives, not when life becomes perfect. Right now, I want you to take a deep breath in and think about, do you feel abundant right now? Are you abundant in love in your life right now? Because abundance is not only money, right? So, are you abundant in gratitude right now, in joy, in health, in creativity? Creativity. Are you abundant in kindness, in emotional presence? Yeah, let that sink in. Or do you spend 70% of your day analyzing all the problems, complaining internally about everything, replying with like a fear, expecting disappointments, and emotionally rehearsing the worst case scenarios? Because if your nervous system is constantly operating in stress and survival, your energy cannot fully receive or access abundance. Have you thought about that? And this is where mindset rewiring begins. You become what you practice emotionally. Most people don't realize this, but your brain is always learning from emotional patterns, right? And neuroscience shows us that repeated thoughts in emotional states create different neural pathways, meaning the more you practice fear, stress, lack, comparison, or self rejection, the more automatically those states become. But the opposite is also true, right? The more you practice emotional safety, gratitude, self trust, joy, peace, and possibilities, the more your brain begins to normalize abundance. But guys, not fake positivity. Like, I'm positive right now, I'm doing gratitude journals right now, and then I'm screaming in I 95 when I'm going to work about everybody else's is low. Not pretending life is perfect as well, but consciously choosing the state you want to embody. Because abundance is not perfection, abundance is emotional alignment. And yes, guess what? I can be abundant and still have challenging moments. All of these challenging moments will still happen. Life will still stretch you and I. But abundance is about who you become inside of those moments. And here is a powerful reflection. In practice, I want you to sit with and like just sit with today, okay? I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale. I want you to step into your emotional frequency right now and think about, I give deeply. I love deeply. I shine deeply. I overflow naturally. And I want you to allow these statements to sink in. Do you feel those about yourself? Because it's time to start feeling that way if you're not feeling that way. You are not here to shrink yourself emotionally while waiting for permission to receive life. you know I want you to comment one word below over here, okay, in the chat. I want you, after what we just did, this pause and reflection, to say, what is one emotion? What is one emotion you want to embody more starting today? It could be peace, it could be joy, confidence, love, freedom, whatever it is. Type on the chat. Love. Perfect. I see over here freedom. Yes, awesome. Um, and in a moment, I'm going to give you two powerful daily practice to help you shift your internal frequency in a real, impractical way. Okay. So I want you to take responsibility, because once you pause your mind, process everything that we're discussing here, and take responsibility, is when healing begins for you. One of the deepest truths I have learned is this: you and I were able to arrive right here, exactly in this moment today, with our beliefs, our habits, our emotional triggers, um, our decisions, patterns, and fears, without anyone rescuing us, right? And this awareness can feel uncomfortable at first when we pause. Where am I? Some people in this life may be, um, like, pretty much not having money to pay their rents, or looking for a job. So many layoffs is happening in the world right now. And when I bring this deepest truth, right, that we both arrive here, and we are just, um, here at this present moment, we arrive in this present moment carrying everything that we have today, decisions, fears, alone. In a moment that this is first feels uncomfortable, but at the same time, if you pause, it is incredible empowering, because the moment you realize you create many of your emotional patterns unconsciously, you also realize you can recreate yourself consciously. Hi, everyone. Hello. Um, and this for me is the greatest state of healing for me. When I think, okay, I'm here with all these bills to pay, or I am feeling off of my journey, i have the I have the emotional patterns that I create unconsciously. Now I just realize that I can recreate myself consciously from this space. So I want you to reflect on that. The moment you stop waiting for someone to save your life, or act in a different way for you to make a move, and begin becoming an active participant in your transformation, it is a aha moment. You really reconnect immediately with your power and your inner abundance. Have you ever heard that God gives us free will? So let me bring you a true perspective for you to reflect on. God work through us. God is a spiritual energy, and he only can touch earth through our choices, our healing, our awareness, our courage to evolve and prioritize our personal development. When you take the reins of your life, right, life begins to meet you differently. And I need you to remember this: you are always being guided. Support, spiritual support, is always available. If you believe in God or not, if you believe in a higher power or not, the spiritual support is always available. But our jobs here is to reduce the internal noise, right? So we can access their guidance. The fear, the distraction, the emotional chaos, the overthinking, we need to turn it down. And today, right now, you can open the door of your heart again, today, every day, and allow light back in just by asking your guardian angel to walk with you in whatever situation you are unsure about. And just like that, you create a practice to allow life to embrace you. Just like that, you create a practice to allow healing to happen inside of your emotions. Yes, yes. Um, then you allow like to become conscious of your choices, for example, because that is when blessings begin to flow naturally. Okay. So, guys, I want to share with you two daily practice to rewire your abundance frequency today. Okay. So, take a deep breath in. And the first practice I want to share with you, it is emotional awareness reset. And that will take you creating a practice in your day, in the morning, at lunchtime, before you go to bed, to take 5 minutes for yourself. And your first step is pause during your day and ask yourself, what emotional state have I been rehearsing today? Just grab a paper, right? And when you start asking that question, what emotional state I have been rehearsing today, not what happened externally, guys. I want you to focus on what state have you been practicing internally, right? And then you pause and allowed that to come to you. And the step two is like to write it down, the dominant emotion. It could be, I'm rehearsing stress today, lack, pressure, or am I rehearsing gratitude, calm, right? So, step three is ask yourself, if abundance had a nervous system, would it feel like this? That question alone creates awareness because transformation begins with consciousness. You cannot shift and transform what you refuse to observe, right? So pause with that, and you can come back to that practice anytime you want. You can just come back here and watch the live again. The practice too for me is like a visualization practice, right? Become the version of what become that version of you that already receives what you want. That it is the practice. And I normally recommend to do this in the morning because your brain is very open and ready to receive. So every morning before you checking your phone and your schedule, ask yourself, how would the abundant version of me think today? How the abundant version of me move today, speak today, love today, choose one aligned action, you know, from there. Let that sink in and choose one aligned action. Maybe it is speaking kindly to yourself. Your inner dialogue really affects how your day flows. Maybe it would be, my abundant version would take a walk today and disconnect, or take a step to organize your finances calmly instead of fearfully. Maybe for you would be just sending an email confidentially, like for someone that you want to reach out to, you know do something. Like one thing for me that I work on is hard for me to rest without guilt. And That would be one that I would change. I would choose to do and see my abundant version. My abundant version would take, like, honestly, would rest without guilt. What is for you? Maybe you never pray and you are a person of faith. Like, maybe doing that, praying intentionally, smiling more, creating instead of consuming. Yeah, small emotional shifts repeated daily create identity transformation. And identity transformation changes your reality, guys. So I want to show you today that what truly changes when your frequency changes. That's what I want to show you today. This shift happens like before the results appear, mostly in every person that I work. And I work with a lot of people. So I had a client, and to respect his confidentiality, I will call him Brian, okay, today. And his story really deeply connected to my emotionally. So he went through a divorce. I did too, right? And 2025, I was laid off for the first time in my career in corporate America. And Brian did too. So at the moment that he got to me, he only had like 3 months left of savings. And emotionally, he was really operating from fear, pressure, survival mode, desperation. Imagine right now if you are laid off and you only have 3 months of savings to get the next job, right? But during our work together, I noticed that something changed. After like 3 weeks of work, he stopped identifying only with the external crisis and starting reconnect with himself. He began like taking responsibility for his emotions, and he told me that he never did that. He never took responsibility from his thoughts and internal reactions. He just were like any automatic, like most of us. And slowly his frequency kind of shift. I could see every week that we worked together. I can tell you, at 6 weeks, he stopped going to interviews feeling like a rejected person begging for an opportunity. And he did that consciously. He started showing up grounded, clear, open, present. And he created at that point, at 6 weeks, two additional income streams at that time. And I was super proud to be able to work with him throughout his transformation and seeing him really shifting. And within about 3 months, okay, he received a great job opportunity and emotionally became stable again. But what moves me the most is this: I always keep in touch um, and connect with the people that I work through social, or sometimes people comes back to me and schedule an appointment with me. We still connection. We still connected. Brian and I were connecting every 2 to 3 months, And what really moves me is after doing all this deep healing work together, he now opened himself to healthy love again. And when you come from a divorce, it takes time. And he's like building a relationship from wholeness instead of emotional survival. That was what he was doing before. He just told me yesterday he's dating an outstanding human. So I'm really, really, really so happy, because that is abundance, not just money, alignment, peace, self worth, emotional freedom, openness to life again. That is the transformation. So And guys, I want you to reflect in your own life. What is abundance for you? And what is transformation for you? So, if this conversation about mindset, rewiring, emotional healing, abundance, and personal transformation resonate with you, subscribe to the channel. This space here is to help you reconnect with the most powerful version of yourself. Connect with me. My June agenda is open and my information is over here in the chat. So let me give you a June affirmation. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and say it mentally. I am abundant. I am abundant. I am abundant. Feel it. I want this to say, to stay with you after this life. I'm abundant and feel it now, not when the money hit your account. Just connect with I am abundant now. There is love inside of you, there is light inside of you, there is intelligence, creativity, intuition, resilience, and divine guidance already inside of you. And the more you reconnect with that truth, the more life begins responding differently to you. So today, choose consciously, you know, what you think, what you consume, what you repeat emotionally, what energy you bring in the world. Because joy is healing, love is healing, presence is healing. And the world desperately needs more people who remember their light instead of abandoning your light. So, guys, if this life help you reconnect with yourself today, go watch the next videos on the channel because they will help you continue rewiring your mindset, regulating your emotions, and creating a life in refined habits aligned with your true self, who you are becoming. So this message, if this message resonate with you, think about this. Share with someone that needs a message, a reminder, subscribe, like. And for those that donate, thank you so much. Your donations really help us continue developing free content in our community and to help the collective reach more people, heal and evolve. If you do not yet follow me on Instagram, please follow me because I share daily mindset tips. And I will see you next Saturday. So have a great weekend. Bye bye, guys.